I love the style of it. Was it your idea or
Christine?
Okay.
Yeah, I was so sick of that long hair. Well, my hair was cutting my hair my idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was so sick of that long hair. Oh my God. It was coming into summer. It was so much hair. It was the Michael storyline. I was crying all the time. It was in the way. And it really was supposed to be this style, but to the shoulders. And it somehow got a little shorter.
It's adorable.
Well, I like it now. It's grown out. It's been about 2 months, so I like it now.
Now, as far as your hair is concerned, do you have to say, okay, I'm going to do it, or they say, well, you have to ask them, listen, I want to do this. Is that okay?
Well, you have to kind of let them know. I mean, I certainly couldn't walk in without telling people. They would, you know, and of course they take offense to that. Okay. You know, they cut it on the show. I went to the producer, who was like, thank God cut it. She's been trying to get me to cut my hair for about a year. She wanted some kind of shape to it. She's like, I love your hair, it's beautiful, but can you do something with it? And I'm like, sure, okay, you know. Well, that's not really what I said the first time. I'm like, no, I'll let it grow as long as I can. Because I was annoyed that she tried telling me what to do with my hair. And I became a brat. And I just went to her and said, I'd like to cut my hair. I need a trim, or I gotta do something. And she's like, whatever. Jill's, you know, doesn't care. She just needs to know. And she's like, and don't cut it in between you know, in the middle of a show, you know, because, you know, one day can last a week. Make sure it's a new day, you know. Don't cut it when, you know, when Michael was waking up, I came in with like a new do and be like, it doesn't really work storyline-wise. Yeah, something like that. I understand, no problem. So anyway, that's how that worked. So that's, yeah.
Are there certain instances when you're playing Carly where more of Laura comes out, as far as your own personality, as more of Carly comes out? Like when you're dealing with kids, is it more of Laura? Or
well, yeah, because I'm not good at like mouthing it like why, because the whole Michael situation was really hard for me. And, you know, I had a really hard time on every level. Emotionally, I was angry, but I wasn't sure if that was me being so close to the story that I was dealing with emotion that Carly would have, so I kept trying to really put it into, because on one hand, it wasn't so much how Michael was acting, because if this guy was waking up with, you know, if it's uncontrollable, he just flicked off and would yell, then I would understand that. It was everyone getting me out of the room that pissed me off. I would never let someone tell me to get the hell out of my kid's bed. Or I would have been like, everyone else get out. You can yell and scream. I mean, I just feel like every instinct in me as a mother was against what I had to play. And they knew that. I was not quiet about that. But I was respectful of them because they were trying to tell a story. I mean, they wanted it to be, you know, very similar to what Jason went through, and they wanted Jason to be the one person that he could relate to, all the way down to the haircut and the color of the t-shirt. You know, even we all would laugh on set. Even Steve was like, "Really?" You know, like we would totally joke. You know, it was a story they wrote, and I had a really hard time with it, but they wanted me to. You know, I mean, no one would have played that, no mother would have reacted normal to that, and that was my struggle. It's like I could have gone in and said, absolutely not, I'm not playing this, but it's, you know, but it's like I had to go with the fact, everything I felt that was wrong was what Carly should have been feeling. So as you can ask Christine, I was like, you know, really having a hard time dealing with the story. I think that it was good because it made me play it as honest as I should have, you know.
This is funny, but do you have to wear one of those baby things soon?
Oh yeah, wait till you see. Oh yeah, I got the pillow going on. It's really funny. I had someone text me, Kim Zimmer from Guiding Light was like, "Are you really pregnant because your boobs are really big?" I'm like, "No, I'm pregnant. I don't know. It must have been a good brawl day." Not pregnant at all. Yeah, the pad starts. I mean, the other day when I was like yelling at Sonny and he went to touch the belly, and I'm like, nice try. Don't. I'm yelling at him because Jason's locked up and everything. I had an itty bitty pad on there, like barely a bump.
Yes.
And then like 2 weeks later, I had to put on a pad, and they gave me one that was huge. And the shirt, it was like, I think it's a bit much. And so we're trying, but Carly's supposed to deliver, I think, for November sweep, so I gotta get big soon.
I saw Claudia today.
Claudia, well, it was funny because I was at work and I had the belly in, and we're supposed to be the similar. She's like, how can I not have on a belly when you do? So, jealousy belly pad, she went and got one. She was so funny. Walking around like rubbing our fake bellies, laughing at each other. It's funny. Go ahead. Oh, she wants to know if Carly's going to carry to term. Yes, Carly's going to have a baby. I don't know what it is. She swears it's a girl. I hope it is because she swears that it is, but I don't know.
We hope for a girl.
Yes.
Is she gonna be blonde?
I don't know, whatever twin babies I'm sure they can get a hold of. Can you imagine if she shows up like tan and dark like Sunny? Carly's like, I swear, Jack, I did not swear for that man. That'd be hilarious. Oh man, that's awesome. I gotta tell that to Bob. Anyone else? You have any questions for me?
I have a question for you.
Okay. You can ask me anything. I'll answer anything.
Really? Now that you have your own line going on, are you going to be stealing my line when you do the daytime Emmys and coming on?
Probably. Yeah, absolutely.
Just check it because I'll let you. And even if
I'm pretty sure I won't change at all anything about that.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I won't change that at all.
Okay, just check it because you make my job so much easier.
Like I can pour my own instead of
You just take the bottle, you don't take the glass.
Shh. Questions, not secrets. No, yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'll see you.
Okay.
When is it this year?
August 30th, CW, I'm pretty sure I just heard that Maxie and Spinelli are presenting. Do you want to know what I was told? They're going for the, I thought, oh, who's presenting this year? Not because I actually get really nervous. I like to not have to do anything because then I get to have super fun. And I'm like, oh, who's presenting? And he's like, well, Maxie and Spinelli, they're going with the younger people this year. I'm like, that's an awesome thing. Go on set now and work. I feel really great about myself. With this fat pat on my stomach. How was that? You should have been nominated.
Yeah, you should have been.
Definitely.
I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. We were all
years.
But whatever, I'm not bitter. I'm so freaking bitter. I was so mad. You can ask John, I go, I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't care if they want me to go, I'm not going. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be that person. No, I'm going to go. I got to go see all my friends from Guiding Light. I'm so excited. I love the Emmys. What did you submit for tape? I submitted the scene, which was awesome. I only submitted this because friends of mine who weren't even on daytime called when they saw this and were like, oh my God, and Maurice had said something about this show. And so I felt like it was the best work I've ever done in my life when Carly found out that Sonny protected Kate instead of Michael. I mean, it was so freaking good. What was so great about that scene for me was those scenes because I worked so hard on them because they told me about them. And I'm not someone that really works hard on dialogue because I can retain it and I'm not going to sit around working really hard on dialogue. So, but for those scenes to be great, they had to just, I had to nail them. I had to just keep going and going and going. And you couldn't search for a line. You had to be like, you know what, and this, and this. And Maurice's lines were only like trying to get a word in, but Carly couldn't let him get a word in. So if I came up unprepared, then it all fell apart. So I don't, again, unless I have those kind of scenes, I don't sit there and think about it, because I like to be in the moment, especially with Ingo. When I work with Ingo, we're extremely on the hip. We run lines at the last minute. We come up with really funny bits on set. I know the other day you saw me with the carrots, hide the carrots, block the potato chips. That was on. We got a big fight that day too, Ingo, where I was like, get off the set, I'm gonna hit you. We were yelling. I'm like, everyone says, are you guys married in real life? I'm like, no, I would kill him. But I adore him. We fight all the time. But Ingo and I come up that whole potato chip bit with 2 minutes on set. I go, oh my God, give me a bag of chips and give me the carrots. And we came up with that like that. Super fun. But those scenes, I worked so hard on just getting the dialogue, and then once I get the dialogue down, I throw it out the window because I don't want to plan how I'm going to say it. You know, because I don't know what, you know, and what I loved about those scenes too was when I walked away, people say an actor will say I was in the moment, I was in the moment. I wasn't in the moment. I was so present in that scene. I was Carly. It was beyond in the moment. I was so there that I almost passed out afterwards. I was like, oh my God, I pulled a muscle in my stomach when I yelled, Kate, you know, like.